Ready to go.
Okay. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. Today we're working on one of my favorite lawnmowers. It's a Toro Personal Pace with the Briggs & Stratton Quantum engine. For me, that's the perfect combination of mower and deck. Now, this one's been sitting around for a little while. The gentleman went electric last year and left this in his garage and never thought about it again. So even though he tells me he's only used it 3 or 4 times its entire life before he went electric, it still sat for a couple of years. So the carburetor is going to need rebuilt, and it's probably going to need the gas drained and new fuel lines. So all you new people out there, go ahead and subscribe. It's free, and it's what we're working for. So let's get started. Okay, here she is. First thing we're going to do is go ahead and take the cover off, but the screws were already out of the cover. That's not always a good thing, but in this case, we got to let it go because the rest of the mower looks really good. So we're going to go ahead and pull the air box off and see what we've got underneath. We're going to check the condition of the air filter, and that appears to be the stock air filter, and it looks like it's in pretty good shape. That's kind of surprising on a mower that's probably 3 or 4 years old, but he did tell me that he'd only used it a couple of times. So when you're doing this, let's grab a magnet real quick. When you're doing this, if you have a magnet, you can put your screws on it, and then when you're putting it back together, you don't wonder if you ran out of screws. You know, if you lost a screw along the way. And there we have it. Now, at this part, what you want to do is take a picture right here at this angle. Here you go. You want to take a picture right there, because this linkage is pretty easy. When you're first looking at it here, it doesn't look very complicated at all. But I promise when you're putting it back together, it's not going to seem as simple as it does right now. And I get these all the time where they're put together incorrectly, where somebody's basically giving it a wild guess, and the springs are all wonky, and the linkage is all backwards and wrong. And the gentleman I bought this from told me that he played with it a little bit, trying to get it running, but gave up pretty quickly because he said, in his own words, he's not a mechanic. So one more piece of linkage, and this thing's ready to come off. And there we go. And try not to wiggle this around too much, or you'll end up having to take the cover off to get her all lined up again. So now we'll gently come over here. We'll grab some pliers and take the fuel line off. Let's see how much fuel she's got. She's got almost no fuel in it. So we'll go ahead and kick the fuel line. And you're going to get a couple of drips when you do this, even if you have pliers on the fuel line. But don't let that worry you. It won't try to empty the tank as long as you're pinched correctly. So now we'll gently take the fuel line off. And notice I'm being careful not to put any stress on the linkage. I'm only going the direction it goes naturally. Now we'll unhook right here. And this is a plastic part here, so use care not to put any undue stress on it. And there you go, there's our carburetor. So let's take her over to the bench and see what she looks like inside. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is pull the bowl off. And on this style carburetor, well, anytime you look at one of these carburetors, if this bolt has this gold color where it appears to be brass, then the jets are part of this bolt. If it looks like it's steel, then the jets are inside the carburetor directly behind that bolt. And you use a flathead screwdriver to take them out. But today, this is the infamous jets, the mysterious jets they talk about on a carburetor. And to look through this one, the jets look pretty good on this one. They don't look like they're terribly clogged, but it could be clogged down the middle here. And you can see we got some stuff here. And that was probably making the float stick. And we've got a lot of corrosion inside the bowl. So what we're going to do is take the bowl and the carburetor and put it in the ultrasonic and get her all cleaned up. Now look at this. And people wonder why they won't start. Those just went in, and you can see the foam coming up. That's the ultrasonic cleaning it up. I'm using 80% water and 20% pine salt floor cleaner to do this, and it works really good on these, and it doesn't discolor the parts. So we'll see you in about half an hour. She's been through the ultrasonic, and when I took a look at it, the carburetor came out really nice. Everything looks very good and very promising, but the bowl did not. There's still corrosion on the bowl that appears as though the surface of the bowl has been just simply destroyed by whatever sat in it for all that time. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get our needle seat back on, but we're going to put a new bowl on it. So you'll clean all the little stuff off the needle. And this is a plastic needle on this particular carburetor, so they clean up real easy usually. So go ahead and put that back on. We'll get the pin back in place. And if your bowl is discolored like it is here, then it's probably fine. But with this, it's just corrosion, it's just eating this one up. So now we're going to put a new gasket on it. That looks good. And get the bowl in place. Okay, now that we've got the carburetor done, we're going to clean the jets. The jets have 2 holes here and 1 hole in the center. And that's usually going to be the reason an engine won't run. And I'm putting a piece of floral wire through it. I've been using the same roll for many years. And we're going to move it around some. And then when that's done, we're going to go down the middle and do the same thing. We're going to try 2. There we go. And you want to make sure that all the passages are cleared. I think I still see something in there. I mean, you'll see something just popped out when I did that. That was a little piece of buildup that was in this top part. But cleaning the jet off really well is crucial when you're working on one of these. This is the magic that makes them go. So I usually take my time on this part. Okay, it's hanging up a little, so we'll use our pliers to pull it through. This jet's noticeably dirtier than most of them are. Now take a look at the top again. Make sure we've got a nice clear path. And this decides how much fuel goes into the engine. So if this is dirty, it's just simply not going to run right. Okay, now the jet looks pretty good, so let's get her all back together. Get our gasket back in place. And put her back on, and that's it. We should have a new carburetor. I went ahead and took the fuel line off of this while I was waiting for the carburetor. So we got a new fuel line for it. New fuel line can make a world of difference in one of these. So now remember, put it back together the exact same way you took it apart. In the same order. So the first thing we'll do is very gently thread this on, thread the linkage on. Then we'll roll it this direction and put the fuel line on. And this is easier to do when the carburetor is not attached, because there's a little bit of tension in the fuel line. There we go. Everything looks pretty good. So let's get our first 2 bolts in. There we go. And if you're using a power tool to do this, be very, very gentle. On this one, I've been using the same screw gun for so long that I can go very gently like that. And there we go. What? So now our carburetor is back in place. And on this one, there's an O-ring back here. Make sure that you don't lose it. Give it a snug. Give it a snug. And let's get the linkage back on. And that goes just like that. Oh. And it's working correctly, and it is. That looks good. It's nice and loose, and it's running the way it should. I'm expecting good things on this one. Let's get the airbox back on and see what we got. So we put that on gently because the other screws will go in better. Put our air filter back in place, and I'm expecting good things. I honestly expect this one to start on the first pull, even though she hasn't run for years. And before we're done, before I send her out the door, I'm going to go ahead and change the oil on it. I see a lot of companies now say that you never have to change the oil on your mower ever. Ye gods, don't believe that. Well, I had it on the rack. I went ahead and wiped her down real well and did an oil change on it. So let's see what she's got. Okay, the drive works really well and the motor sounds good. Now, she hasn't started for probably a couple of years, so I'm pretty impressed with how she runs. The only thing she doesn't have now is a for sale sign, and she'll have that tomorrow. If you decide you want to go electric and you've got old gas-powered lawn equipment, sell it before it sits for a year because it's worth a whole lot more if it's running than it is if it sits. That was a really good looking mower, but it sat for a year, so it needed a little bit of work before I could sell it. So, all you new people out there, go ahead and subscribe. It's free, and if you made it this far, you might as well. So, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.